Hi, I'm Serafana, co-founder of Gluecharm, and today I want to show you our platform. So what are we looking to do today? Let's say we want to explore a new idea. So let's answer quickly some questions what we are trying to fix. We're going to imagine that this is the problem that we are trying to fix. The food deliveries in London after 10 p.m. Here we have an assistant that can help us spell check or shorten what we said, or for example, improve it by expanding it. We don't need to use these options for now, but these are available for you. We're going to move next. What are we missing? So we can say current applications apps do not offer food deliveries in the evening. Food deliveries in the evening. We're going to move on. Who will benefit from this? We're going to say customers like students who eat after going out in the evenings. So, of course, the more information we can give, the better, but this is just for an example. So let's see what the assistant is doing. So it's researching problems, finding solutions, and drafting a value proposition for me. So here you go. I landed on a page. I have some information on the left-hand side with the name of the application, some problems, some solutions. I can refine them. I can change them. I can add them. So I can add more information, similar for unique value propositions and functionalities. Let's say we are happy with all of this information, so we can move on to defining the users. Again, we can do this all manually, or we can use AI to see what suggestions are generated for me in terms of the users of my application. So, for example, the suggestions around the late night diners and potentially restaurant partners. And it feels like, right, that we will need some delivery drivers. So let's stick with these 3 users for now on my application. And now let's move on to defining their use cases. Again, let's see some initial suggestions that AI is generating for me in terms of use cases based on the users that I've selected. So we start with one use case. So we can see here order tracking. The idea is we are not giving too many use cases in one go because you have to think about it, but you can always generate more. We're going to accept this use case and we're going to go into seeing its details to define it better. So as we enter a use case, now we can see a short description. Then we can have a longer description. We can select the users, for example, who's going to be doing the order tracking. So it's going to be, for example, the diners. They will be able to see when their order is on its way. We can give some information like this is about the order category. We can start creating also some tags. And now let's move on saying that we are happy with this with description of this use case, and we want to convert it to user stories. So here we can already start creating user stories. And as they are created, then they appear here at the top as well, so we can monitor them as well. Now let's continue on defining this use case, and let's look at the scenarios. Let's use AI, again, to speed up the thinking here. And we're going to have an happy scenario for sure when we have an order that successfully happens. But potentially there could be also an unhappy scenario and an exception scenario, for example. So we're going to select for now a couple of scenarios just for the sake of the demo. So let's get AI to think about everything. And now for each scenario, very quickly, I have a lot of information already here with the description, the process. For example, post conditions, I can enter preconditions myself. I can help, I can have them generating, and the same I can do for the unhappy scenario. So based on the information that I've given, AI is able to give me enough information, or I can generate it, or I can manually enter it. Now, based on this, we can move on technical diagrams, and depending on the situation, we always recommend that this is something that you might want to do, or you might want to have your tech team do it with you or for you. But let's pretend I'm comfortable with that. So I'm just going to use AI to start generating the information. So this is the front-end diagram. I can review it, I can change it, I can see more information that is related to each of these boxes. So there's going to be some information about what is happening in this in this part of the experience, why and how this should be, for example, showcased on the front end. And then, for example, for events, we have some basic information about events, but we can start looking also some data that might have been triggered. So again, some data is generated from me using AI, but I can also add the property manually, and I can change the information based on my specific project. So now we have created this information, and we can see here at the top that a service has been created as well. So here now we have a service, a catalog of service that will appear. And we have front-end application, order tracking, and this is where we start reviewing, what we are building and what we should be building in the background. So we started with 3 users, we created a use case, a user story, and for now we have a service. And this is how quickly we went in just a few minutes from having nothing to have some tech specifications in front of us.